Keiko and I'm here in the Nelson Community Food Center kitchen, and today I wanted to do a little cooking for you. We were just out in the garden. It's high summer, the garden is pumping, and we've got some zucchini, some beautiful little tomatoes and some fresh basil. And actually also, this is very special, we have garlic that was grown here on the garden outside and recently harvested and cured. It's all ready to use. So we're gonna do a really quick, simple, delicious zucchini sauté. So let's get started. I'm gonna get my pan warming up. Here's this fancy little machine here. I'm looking for a sort of a medium-high temperature because we want to get a sauté going. So that's a little high. Let's just bring it down a little bit. And right away I'm going to add a little bit of oil. We're going to use olive oil, but you can use coconut oil or butter or whatever you like. Get a nice little swirl going on in there. Zucchini, underrated vegetable. You know what, the zucchini, he needs a little bit of salt and a little bit of fat to make him taste good, and that's okay. I'm just gonna do, this pan heats quickly, so maybe I'll trim it down a little bit. And then actually, you know what I wanna do first, before I get into Mr. Zucchini, is I'm gonna get some garlic going. Smack! Whoops, I wasn't supposed to whack the table. Forgot about that. Anyway, excuse that little jiggle there, guys. We're gonna get some garlic chopped. Fresh garlic is something else. How lucky are we to have fresh garlic to cook with here? I'm just gonna get it minced up nicely. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, and I think our pan is looking good and hot. Let's just give this a little oil, a little swirl. You don't want to get your oil smoking or anything, but you do not want it nice and hot because we now want to get a little sizzle going on with the garlic. That's going to bring all the nice garlic flavors out into your oil. Give it a little shake on the spatula and get that going. Okay. Now back to that zucchini. I like to do, you know, a size that feels good in the mouth. Not too big, but not too small. You want to kind of keep that bite. If you cut it too small, then maybe it gets a little bit too soft or too big, and then it takes too long to cook. So I'm just doing a nice little, I guess this would be a dice. Dice? Yeah. And sometimes I really love actually zucchini in like a half moon sort of shape as well. I'm gonna get this temperature up a little bit more. Would you? If you don't mind. 10. Oh, now he's up, way up again. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I'm hearing the sizzle. So we got our zucchini almost all chopped. Okay. And I'm smelling this garlic. It's turning a little bit toasty. That's super nice. That's what we're looking for. This guy's beeping at me, I don't know why, but hopefully we're still on here. I'm gonna add my zucchini. Put that in there and give this a little stir. I feel like this pan's not hot enough, so I'm gonna turn it up a tiny bit. Let's get it on the 400. I don't normally cook on one of these little burners at home, so this is a new experience, very fun. Now here's something really key with cooking pretty much any vegetable, especially, you know, something like a zucchini, which is notoriously mild in flavor, is you gotta give it some salt. You gotta get it salted to start bringing out those flavors. So that's gonna be sizzling along there. It's looking good. Okay, he's gonna do his thing. Now I'm gonna chop my tomato and some basil. You don't need a lot, maybe 2 of these guys. So at home in my garden, I love to grow 3 different kinds, well actually 4 different kinds of tomatoes, but this one here like a medium-sized tomato. The one that I like to grow is called Matina. And what it does is, so, you know, you have your cherry tomatoes, those will ripen early, but also if you get your little medium-sized tomato, then while all those big tomatoes are still ripening, you will be eating fresh tomatoes from your garden, which is, you can't really beat that. So give this a little stir. Getting a little bit of color on it now. I might turn it down a little bit now. And just a little dice on the tomatoes. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time getting to the skin, I just flip the tomato over and I go at it from the other side. Oh, I don't want to, but I am going to give it another stir. We're getting a little bit brown. Down, boy. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to add my tomato now, not the stem. And what that's going to do is add some moisture to the pan, and it's going to get some of that browning that's been happening at the bottom of the pan lifted, which is really going to add to the yumminess of what we got going on here. And actually, you know what? I feel like for that size zucchini, like that one tomato and a cherry tomato is like lost. So this is another key I find with cooking most vegetables, is having a great balance of that salty, and what we're getting with the tomatoes now is a little bit of acid, which kind of helps to round out the flavor. I'm adding a little bit more salt also because we want it to taste good, and it's always good, I feel, to like layer in the salt. So if I'm adding, I add a little bit for the zucchini, I add a little bit for the tomatoes, and now I'm going to chop up some basil, fresh basil. What a smell, it's amazing. So I'm just going to lay my leaves together. I even have some stem, no big deal. Lay these guys together here. Keep an eye on him. We're getting hands getting toasty. You know what? This is pretty much done. I like to add my basil right at the end, and that way, like, the flavor is still really fresh. But the tomatoes, we're really just wanting them to kind of like warm through and kind of open up and release some of their juices. And then I just add my basil, and it smells amazing. And the colors are gorgeous. It's just so like quintessentially summertime for me. This is something that, you know what, if it's been a long day and I just need to cook something really quickly and something yummy, this is the kind of dish that I love to do, where it's fast, easy, delicious. And let's give this a taste. I think we're just about ready. So I'm just going, you know what? Actually, there's one more secret here I have. And you can do this or not, but I always love to finish my sauteed vegetables with a little bit of butter, because that little extra kick of fat and salt just kind of takes things to the next level. And I'm literally just melting it over the top at the end. And if you give this a try at home, if you're into butter, I really recommend it. It kind of just takes things to the next level of yumminess. So here we've got the finished dish. It's kind of like silky and delicious from that butter that you add at the end. The zucchini is still nice and crisp. You know, it's not like totally mushy, still holding its shape. The tomatoes are like tender and like juicy and delicious, and the zucchini is still a little bit fresh. You know what's also really good? A little bit of cracked pepper right at the end, or red chili flakes if you have that. So this is the kind of thing that's like really yummy with eggs for breakfast, or you can have it like over pasta with some cheese, or if you want to have it like a green bowl, you can like put some feta on top of it. Yeah, the vegetables are cooked perfectly. The butter is silky and delicious. It's got just the right amount of like acid from the tomatoes, and you really get that fresh basil flavor in there as well. So a really quick, easy, simple dinner meal or something for breakfast. And maybe you've got some zucchinis coming out of your garden, maybe your neighbor's got some zucchinis coming out of their garden. You can grab some from the food bank, or you can grab some from the farmer's market. I hope you give this a try, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you try it, if it turns out well, let us know in the comments below. Share this with someone else who you think has some zucchinis that need to be enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.